Recording, yeah, you did.
Thank you, welcome. And the first thing on the agenda, shop, outdoor tables and chairs. I need a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Okay, public hearing is open. This is for Justin's Chop Shop to have 4 tables and 16 chairs on his front porch area. Is there anyone from the public, Guess not. Anyone from the board? I need a motion to close the hearing.
So moved.
And second?
Second.
Okay. So the next item on the agenda would be to read through the resolutions. If you don't mind taking turns reading the resolutions.
Yep.
And I'll do the rest, hard part, yea, nay, opposed, unopposed. Is that all right? Mr. Frano.
Where Justin DeMarco, an applicant for Justin's Chop Shop, has applied for a special exception permit for 4 tables and 16 chairs to be placed on the front patio pursuant to provisions of Chapter 196 of the zoning code of the Village of West Hampton Beach, located at 71 Sunset Avenue, West Hampton Beach, Suffolk County Tax number 905-12-1- to the Planning Board. Objection to the approval of 4 tables and 16 chairs. And whereas a public hearing was held before the Board of Trustees on June 1st, 2023, there was no incidents or reports filed with the Police Department concerning said use, and now therefore it be resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby authorizes the placement of outdoor tables and chairs as shown on the submitted plan, subject to all conditions and limitations set forth by the Planning Board report dated April 27, 2023.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolved that the minutes of the Board of Trustees meeting of May 4th, 2023, and a special meeting on May 26th, 2023 are hereby accepted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolved.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Resolved that the Justice Court, Police Department, and Building Inspector's reports and Treasurer's report for April 2023 are hereby accepted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolved that the village clerk treasurer is hereby directed to publish and post a notice of public hearing to be held on Monday, July 3rd, 2023 at 5 p.m. at the Village Hall for special exceptions applications filed by Brunetti Pizza for additional tables and chairs for outdoor dining.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolved that the village clerk treasurer is hereby directed to publish and post a notice of public hearing to be held on Monday, July 3rd, 2023 at 5 p.m. at the Village Hall for a special exception application filed by Goldberg's for additional tables and chairs for outdoor dining.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolved that the village clerk treasurer is hereby directed to publish and post a notice of public hearing to be held on Monday, July 3rd, 2023 at 5 p.m. at the Village Hall for special exception applications filed by Haskell Seafood for additional tables and chairs for outdoor dining.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolved that the village clerk treasurer is hereby directed to publish and post a notice of public hearing to be held on Monday, July 3rd, 2023 at 5 p.m. at the Village Hall for a special exception application filed by Mi Pueblito Restaurant for outdoor tables and chairs.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolved that the village clerk treasurer is hereby directed to publish and post a notice of public hearing to be held on Monday, July 3rd, 2023 at 5 p.m. at the Village Hall for a special exception application filed by One Trick Pony for outdoor tables and chairs.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolved that a special exception application submitted by David Hirsch for Flora Restaurant for additional outdoor tables and chairs located at 149 Main Street is hereby referred to the Village Planning Board for review.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolved that the village clerk treasurer is hereby directed to publish and post a notice of public hearing to be held on Monday, July 3rd, 2023 at 5 p.m. at the Village Hall for a special exception application filed by Flora Restaurant for additional outdoor tables and chairs.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolved, the Board of Trustees hereby appoints Paul Boucher to the position of automotive equipment operator effective June 1st, 2023, at an annual salary of $72,203.62.
Second.
Yes.
No, it stays as appointed. We're appointing him, yeah, we're appointing him, so the mayor and I talked about it, yeah, we talked about it.
Okay, thank you. You
I
seconded?
seconded.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolved the warrant for May 31st, 2023 in an amount of $570,160.40 and the warrant for June 2023 in an amount of $205,722.26 from the general fund and $167,688.26 from the capital fund is hereby approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolved that the Beaver Lake condominium is hereby authorized to use the trustee meeting room on Saturday, July 1st, 2023 from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. to hold their annual election meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolved that the West Hampton Beach Elementary School is hereby authorized to hold a special event bike to the beach for fifth graders on Thursday, June 15th, 2023 from 9:45 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. as per route approved by the police department.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolved that Lillian Sheldon of 63 Main Street is hereby authorized to use the village sidewalk in front of 63 Main Street for a fundraiser for Making Headway Foundation in memory of Jake Greenbaum on Sunday, June 11th, 2023 from 11:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Whereas the village received an application to renew outdoor tables, chairs, and benches permit for 2023 with no changes from the 2022 application from the Corner Cafe Restaurant, 77A Main Street, for 2 tables and 4 chairs in front of the store. Whereas there were no incidents or reports filed with the police department concerning said uses, now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby authorizes the placement of outdoor tables and chairs as shown on the submitted plans, subject to the same set of conditions recommended by the Village Planning Board and plans attached to the applicant's 2023 renewal applications.
That's a long ways away.
I won't be around that year. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Whereas Jennifer Superintendent of the premise known as Mixology located at 148 Main Street, West Hampton Beach, Suffolk County Tax Map number 905-12-41.1 has applied to renew the 2023 outdoor sales and displays permit pursuant to Chapter 140 of the Code of the Village of West Hampton Beach. And whereas the applicant submitted a sketch plan, photographs, and description of the items that it seeks to display and sell outdoors, hereinafter the outdoor display plan. And whereas it appears from the outdoor display plan that the application satisfies the conditions of section 140-2A of the Village Code. Now therefore it be resolved that the application for renewal of outdoor sales permit as recommended by the Village Planning Board for 1 sales rack as depicted on the attached plan to the application is granted, subject to the following conditions. A, all conditions set forth in section 140-2A shall be followed. B, no substantial deviation from the outdoor display plan shall be allowed without further approval of the Board of Trustees. And C, this permit shall be in effect to November 15, 2023, unless previously revoked, and the applicant shall be required to follow the renewal provisions set forth in section 140-2B of the Village Code for future outdoor displays beyond said expiration date.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby authorize the purchase of 3 10x10 pergolas from Craftsman Fence Corporation for the Main Street, for the Village Marina, not to exceed $5,500, including installation pending receipt of warranty and prevailing wage certificate paperwork to be taken from GL account park funds.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby authorizes the purchase of one 12-foot by 16-foot pergola from Craftsman Fence Corporation for the green space along the Montebaut Canal abutting the Parlato parking lot not to exceed $10,560, including installation, pending receipt of warranty and prevailing wage certification paperwork to be taken from GL account park fund.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Resolved that the village clerk treasurer is hereby directed to publish and post a notice of public hearing to be held on Monday, July 3rd, 2023 at 5 p.m. at the Village Hall to amend Chapter 197-29 entitled Zoning, Non-Conforming Uses of the Code of the Village of West Hampton Beach.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolved, the village clerk treasurer is hereby directed to publish and post a notice of a public hearing to be held on Monday, July 3rd, 2023 at Chapter 197-63 entitled Zoning Site Plan Procedures of the Code of the Village of West Hampton Beach.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolved that the village attorneys, Essex, Hefter, Angel, Tatalia, and Pasca, LLP, are hereby authorized to represent the village's zoning board of appeals in the CPLR Article 78 proceeding entitled Robert and Jacqueline Sproat versus Zoning Board of Appeals of the Village of West Hampton Beach, Brad Hammond as Chief Building Inspector, and Lisa Canty, brought in New York State Supreme Court under index number 612910/2023 at the hourly municipal rate schedule for special services set forth in the village attorney's retainer letter dated August 14, 2014.
Before
Second.
you, wait,
Wait.
before you do that one, can you just change it to be represent the Village Zoning Board of Appeals and Brad Hammond? I didn't realize he was also listed in the caption.
Okay. So we'll just insert the word "and."
Instead of the comma?
No, it's after, it's in the second line, represent the Village's Zoning Board of Appeals
Oh,
and
Brad.
Brad Hammond.
Got it, in
Yes.
the first part. Got it. So,
Okay.
as amended?
As amended?
Second as amended.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we have
We have
one
another
additional
resolution number
walk-on.
22. Resolved that Anthony Sunderman Jr. is hereby appointed as seasonal laborer at the rate of $18 in the Department of Public Works to work as assigned by the Public Works Superintendent effective June 5th, 2023, to be funded from GL account A5110.103 seasonal part-time.
Second.
Should be amended $18 per hour. Just insert
Yeah,
per hour
per
as
hour.
well.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
missed that, thank you.
Okay. So as amended?
As
Second.
amended.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. That brings us to the public comment section of our meeting, and we have asked representatives of Czech Valet to give us a presentation. We're eager to hear the times. We have a lot, so as I understand, they're already operating in Patchogue, so have a successful reputation, so.
Yeah, we have a great reputation.
Okay, looking forward to this.
It's gonna work.
I just wasn't sure what number it was. It's number 4.
All right, Deputy Mayor Urban and the Board of Trustees of West Hampton Beach, thank you for having us today. We're thrilled to be here. I'm accompanied by my business Development Associate Jake Marino, my restaurant liaison Marisa Greco, and my videographer Pat Irwin. Parking is an issue globally, worldwide, and the vision of my company came on a random Friday night back in January of this year. I was out walking my dog Aria in the heart of the village, is right where I live, and between all the horns, the swearing, and everything else, I realized that there was an issue here. And I was able to recall the lessons I learned from reading Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. See a problem, create a solution to it. And that's when Check Valet was born. The next thing I'm going to say is going to be rather bold. I want to compete with Uber one day. Uber changed the world, the way the world travels, and why can't we just change the way people park? I want to involve that entire experience for everyone. To have a mobile app, which is currently in development. I was able to get a nice sneak peek on the way here. I have some slides at the end I would like to show you as well, to make a seamless experience for all of our patrons, whether they're residents or visitors or tourists coming in. So now parking will not be an issue, so them and their families can enjoy this beautiful, great town of West Hampton Beach. Jake, please take over.
Good evening, guys. Thank you for having us. Check Valet. We are really trying to make it we're trying to make it less congested in the areas. We want to make it better for the town. We want to make it better for the guests, the patrons. Hopefully, even one day the employees. We're going to start to offer monthly memberships for the restaurant employees, so they can drop their car off right in front of their restaurant or their place of work, wherever they might be. We take the car, park it for them, and they get a good membership for that. We don't want to just be like a valet company, drop your car and go away. We want to let you guys know that we care. We want to let you know that your car is going to be in safe hands and it's going to be returned in the same condition, right? It's a reflection of who you are, and we want our service to be a reflection of us. So the problem that we found is that limited parking and limited availability, usually one-lane roads in congested towns. I'm sure you guys have experienced this problem yourselves when you go out for dinner. Solution, we wanted to find lots, hopefully municipal parking spaces, stuff like that, maybe save on costs, to try to get people to just drop their car and go. We want to be able to have people pull up right in front of the restaurant, we take the car, and no more traffic for them. No more driving around, slow down, heads turning, looking for spots, that kind of thing. Customers would be residents, visitors, tourists, and like I said before, restaurant industries. Restaurant industry employees make up a large portion. I think it's about 25% in the village of Patchogue. And the parking spaces reflect that. You know, the parking spaces that are taken up in Patchogue represent about 25% of the parking spaces that are available altogether in Patchogue. So to analyze market size and demographics, we would use things like population density, like I said before, the amount of parking spaces in the area, square footage, things like that, number of restaurants, and number of service industry employees. So the services offered would be valet reservations, schedule your valet service 15 minutes prior to your restaurant experience. So let's say you make a restaurant reservation at Flora. You would get a text from us, being like, hey, I'm Jake, you get a picture of me, please take the following directions to the restaurant, wherever that may be. We got to figure that out for West Hampton, obviously. You'll get a picture of me, I'll be waiting in front of the restaurant for you, come around the car, take a quick video, make sure there's no, we take note of any pre-existing damage, sign a receipt, here you go, and then you text us, we text you when we get the car dropped off. You'll always know where your car is, and then as soon as you're done with dinner and you pay your bill, you text us, say, hey, I'm done, I paid my bill. Great, I'll be over within 5 minutes, no problem. Restaurant reservations, you would kind of do this through the restaurant that we're partnered with. So if you make a restaurant reservation at Flora, Flora would ask you if you would like to have your car valeted, and that's where we would come in. We want to eventually have a quick check valet, which is where you can hail a valet right on the fly. If you're driving around looking for service, it would be a little bit of an increased price. It could create revenue for the town, things like that. More restaurant reservations, able to do more covers, things like that would also create a little more business in the town. We also have a safe home valet service where if you happen to drink too much at work, at your reservation or your dinner or wherever you are, we can drive you home safely. We can drive you and your car home safely and ensure that you're there. It would save money, even though people can Uber, we solve a problem that Uber doesn't solve by having your car with you when you get home. So you would need to Uber back to town anyway to get your car, so we're eliminating that part of the process. Sure.
So Uber also creates a lot of congestion with double parking. So the quick valet is mostly what Jake was explaining, meeting them in front of the restaurant. But what we found in Patchogue, our first busy night was Cinco de Mayo. And somehow we had a Bentley and a Maserati all parked. And because I guess of those nice cars, we made sure we cleared the street. So we got a little heat for it. So then we realized at my office space, is everyone familiar with Patchogue, North Ocean Avenue, the main road that goes into Four Corners?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like the 5th building north of the strip with a 50-car lot. So the way it works now is if your dinner reservation is at 7 p.m. at 360 Sushi, you make a 6:45 reservation at Czech Valet. On the way into town, pull into the office space, do a U-turn, hop into the back seat with your date, pick up your valet and get chauffeured to your destination. We come park it in our private lot, secured. When you're done, you call, text, we bring it back. It's that simple, and when the mobile app comes out, it's going to make it that much more seamless. And then as far as the safe home valet service, we've all have friends victim of DWI or death or all the tragedies that occur with that. And my long-term goal is to create an impact. Like I want to do 25% in 10 years, decreased on Long Island as we spread. Uber, yes, they absolutely changed the world in how we travel, and they definitely lowered the DWI rate. But still, there's a ton of people out there that if they had the opportunity to have someone else, like a Midnight Chauffeur was a great service. I think COVID kind of put them down, but that's where we're going to take over. Marisa, please.
Just have a quick question. The drive home safe option.
Yes.
How do your drivers get back to their?
Great question.
Uber.
Depending on
Uber.
time, at 6:30 a.m. in Patchogue, Uber prices are hiked. For 7-8 miles, you're looking at $50, $65. So depending on radius and timing, it's going to be enough that if I have the staffing, we'd love to pick them up and save on cost. But if I don't, we're going to Uber back. So
Okay.
then the house has got to get paid, the driver's got to get paid, and we got to cover the cost of Uber.
Got it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yes, hi, Logan. My name's Marisa. I've had 20 years in the restaurant industry. I was very, very excited when Brian asked me to link up about this. Just a really, really cool new way to kind of address our patrons and provide for our patrons. So, really happy to be here. Okay, so essentially, like a tremendous amount of growth is going to happen if we partner with restaurants. That's really what it's going to be, where it's going to be beneficial for both of us. Partner with restaurants. I'm so sorry. I never do things like this. So, we tell patrons all the time, right? Recently, I had done a survey of the patrons that frequent our restaurants on Friday and Saturday evenings, which is like the height of traffic in Patchogue, obviously West Hampton Beach as well. And 60% of them, over 60%, expressed obvious issues with parking in Patchogue. Tremendous frustrations with getting caught in the rain, having to walk from very far from areas they were unfamiliar with. And 40% of those, 40% of the people polled expressed that they would use a valet service if it was, accessible and feasible for them to use, which was actually pretty cool, to see those numbers back. It's beneficial for the restaurants as well because we're constantly getting calls that, hey, I'm running 15 minutes late, 20 minutes late, 30 minutes late. We also lose reservations because people don't want to deal with it, which is negative, obviously, for us because we've seen our numbers decrease since COVID. Every restaurant really has, most likely. So we're trying everything we can do to keep those reservations, and keep our customers happy, obviously. So an additional thing in Patchogue Village, which I'm sure is obviously on the forefront of everyone's minds, is patron safety. We had a huge calling by the restaurant council and the chamber and the board of trustees in our own village to address patron safety, because as we build all these beautiful apartments and we allow all these beautiful restaurants and bars to be opening, you're increasing population, you're increasing potential for crime, and we're seeing that as an issue. We want to make sure that we're doing our due diligence to ensure the safety of our patrons. So it really avoids people walking through alleys like late at night that are dark, not knowing where they're going. We constantly are saying, do you know where this restaurant is? No one knows really what's going on. And they're walking a tremendous distance to get from one end of Main Street to the other to get to their restaurant reservation. They're also protecting the property now. We've got obviously their vehicles in these secured lots, which is excellent. So now they feel comfortable and confident enjoying their night because they know that their things that are important to them are safe and that they're gonna have a safe door-to-door service to keep themselves and their, friends and family safe as well. Okay. Some ways we're pairing with restaurants is through marketing. Obviously, social media is tremendous. Not only am I a restaurant manager now, but I'm also a social media guru, which has become a tremendous part of our business. And so, posting social media ads together where people are being tagged and shared, it increases visibility for both businesses, the restaurants as well as Check Valet. So it's really an excellent partnership. Additionally, obviously, word of mouth is excellent.
Just to add, Megan Mackey is a secretary for the village, I believe.
Yes. Mhm. Yes.
She saw, because Marisa had me affiliated with the meatball, she's the assistant GM at that meatball place, because we're affiliated, my post went on there, she was friends with them, she saw there, and all of a sudden I had an email from Mayor Moore.
And we're thrilled and very thankful for that. That's awesome, So it's super easy. What? Did you? Okay, so sorry.
You ever been there? Restaurant in Patchogue, meatball, yeah. It's good. Meatballs. Very good. Yeah. You like meatballs?
I also want to say stress,
It's
and
good.
I apologize. So
Eat them.
dining out is an
It's good.
experience, right? I'm so sorry, technical difficulties,
That-
learning.
That's right, you had
We
us
were talking about
meatballs.
Oh,
This is a little meatball
They're not
bridge.
just balls anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
Bigger men.
We're getting off of that slogan. No, but dining out is an experience, right? I've been in hospitality almost 20 years, really 18 and a half years if you want to look at it that way. I've worked in Marriott's, I've worked in restaurants, bars, nightclubs, private membership clubs. You're giving them experience. You want them to be happy. You want them to be able to escape from their real lives. That's what this is, right? You're giving them a time to enjoy themselves, enjoy their friends and family, giving an ambiance. You want them to be calm, you want them to like things. So when you get to your reservation and you're 20 minutes late and you're arguing with your boyfriend, girlfriend, potential spouse, over parking, and you're caught in the rain, we walk in and the front door looks dirty and your mashed potatoes taste like the worst mashed potatoes you ever had. And your wine, it's no good. You're creating an experience. That's what we do. That's why my front door is always clean. My rug is always clean. I've got sunflowers in my vestibule. Because you walk in and immediately someone's set in a good mood. So it also positively affects the overall mood of your patrons, which obviously affects your sales in the restaurant. And that's a tremendous thing, which I think is awesome. You're treating them like a VIP. They feel special, they feel protected and seen, and I think that's a really important part of that. Thank you. Thanks.
All right, now the hard part, staffing. Ever since COVID and the ability to work from home, we've all seen a tremendous decline in hard work ethic, or old school hard work ethic. And I could just say, yeah, I'm gonna employ the best drivers, the best records, and blah, 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 but I don't think that's the way of the future. I believe innovation, donation, and commitment to my employees will make me successful. If I don't drive a $100,000 car yet, but if I did, who would I allow to take it away from me? Well, no one ideally, but when we have the mobile app, and I want the collegiate student athlete role model to be one of the leaders of my workforce. Because why? I look at my app and like, oh, this is Mike Smith. He goes to Stony Brook. I'm a graduate from Stony Brook. We're creating a relationship here. He's now got a 3.5 GPA. He is disciplined to make sure that he has that great of a high GPA. He's a part of a team, knows how to set goals, knows how to work with others well. These are the characteristics I think anyone would be comfortable letting them drive away with their car. And imagine that if my valets could work in teams and create a book of business, so that if, John and Mary, I see them every week, and they only let me drive their car if I'm there. So now I'm booked for weeks on end in this great, beautiful town. I just see such potential here. And then, in the more important thing, if I'm addressing students, let's address their tuitions. I want to invest in them. On the app, when you tip your valet, A, tip to paycheck, B, tip towards tuition. And I'll do percent match, or 10 cents on every dollar, depending on how long they've been with me and their review rating from the customers on the app. So now, if you're a parent of a student athlete, who do you want to work for? Yeah, I'm gonna help you pay your bill. But also now, year after year, we have new students come in, and then also on the flip side, if we're gonna be using student role models, why not retired service workers? Police officer, firefighters, first responders, whatever the case. These are people with life-saving jobs and respect, and now that retired, and sometimes I hear bored, well, why don't you come and valet cars in some of the busiest, beautiful villages and towns on Long Island? And the chance to drive some cool cars too. And so, and the
You
same.
never do that.
I don't do that at all.
So yes, I just truly believe if I show some skin in the game with my future employees, that I really want to see the best for them, they'll also in return want to see the best for me. All right. So I understand, Unagi scooters are one of the higher brand scooters that are available. We have a partnership with them. I have 4 right now, and they allow us to maneuver in Patchogue better than anyone else. Now, I understand that the village codes are different from town to town, so I definitely have to have a conversation at the end of this, because according to Village Code Section 146-10, driving around vehicles and animals states that no inline skates, scooters, bicycles are allowed, but these are electric, motorized. I don't know if there's a little leeway there. No?
No.
Okay.
We found that scooters, bicycles, rollerblades, whatever, and pedestrians in a crowded street don't mix well on a
So,
sidewalk, on the
Oh,
sidewalk.
no, so in Patchogue, we're in the street fully with reflective purple and gray vests.
Oh,
so
it's
we can
street-
be seen,
Street
and
light.
helmets.
Or is it that code you're talking about, sidewalk?
That's sidewalk code.
Oh, I thought it said street somewhere in there.
We
Am I
can-
read wrong?
Lieutenant, do you have a?
That's specific to sidewalk directional.
Right.
So
Yeah.
with, there's lights on the front and reflectors in the rear as well for our scooters. We talked to Suffolk County PD every weekend, and they said they won't be giving us any trouble, at least in the village of Patchogue. Yes, because I understand these things go up to 20 miles an hour. I don't allow my staff to go that fast. But ideally, if we can stay out, if the sidewalk is vacant, we try to just stay clear of everyone. You know, we would understand, like, anyone could open up a door, come into the sidewalk, cause a collision, that would be terrible. So we're very cautious by the way we maneuver through town. All right, parking lot leases. I've talked to Deputy Mayor Urban about the Rogers Beach lot that gets underutilized on evenings.
Evenings,
However,
but we would like to retain a significant portion in case people do go to the beach,
of
it's
course,
just not
you don't
packed.
have the beach permits, not because it invites others besides the people that have the beach permit to come in the evening.
Parking permit is required.
Only
Oh.
parking across the board.
Parking permit, so
Okay.
for your service, we would have to make some kind of an arrangement
Well,
that
you have to
a-
put your
a
stick, something on
certain
the
area
dashboard
or something.
validating who you are.
Of course.
Then-
Right.
However, the systems we have to go
We
by
would,
would be happily
we
fine.
would have to work out some kind of a system so that you wouldn't,
Yeah, I'm sure,
be-
to reserve X amount of spots on one side
Right.
compared to the other, sure, absolutely.
And we'd have to give you tags, so that our officers, when they go in, know that people not permitted are parked in your spot. Your cars will be identified by a tag or something.
Great, we do have valet tags that go right on the rearview mirror, in purple, with
Yeah.
a number. Sure, it could be counterfeited, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when it happens, or, well, we can label them however we like.
well, we do have also the issue that the parking lots, the Rogers and Lashley, they're closed, gated at 10 PM. So, we can try and work something out, I don't know.
Oh, that'd be great.
We do have parking issues, and we would like to cooperate as
Excellent.
much as we can.
So I rushed out to West Hampton Beach yesterday afternoon to meet with Zachary Employ, the man in charge of the Seafield Rehabilitation Center, because that's right at the edge of the strip. I talked to my insurance broker. We have to increase our policy, but he seems to be a go for us to be using his 80-car lot right at the edge of Village. I'll be leasing it out. That's no problem. I'm excited for that, and he seems to be really willing to work with this as well. I did some scouting on these other spaces right here. I don't know if they could potentially be available. The TD Bank, I'm sure, it's a little further up the strip, but they have up to 40 spots. We did speak about the firehouse. I know, obviously, we can't take up much, but is there anything over there? Because I know there's a.
The firehouse has reserved parking for the firemen in case of an emergency. They have to have
Right.
places, but
But then there's the municipal parking lot
Right behind it.
adjacent to it.
there's that's underutilized normally.
Okay, so
Right.
that's anything that's underutilized.
Well, that's,
is
Right.
forte.
that's actually convenient, it's right up the street.
Yeah.
I
Right.
just wanna add something. I understand, I have, a couple friends that work over here at Flora and Fauna, and, they mentioned that there's a field, like it almost looks like a park, that's used for parking during the St. Patty's Day parade.
Yeah, probably the
That's-
Great Lawn, but
That's
that's.
the
Great
Great Lawn, that's, yes, Brian and I spoke
Okay,
about
okay,
that.
I didn't know you.
Yeah.
That, yes, there's a codicil on that deed that we can
You
only have
couldn't-
7 events, and it's only for special events.
Okay.
And,
Yeah.
and there's
Can't-
7
couldn't be,
per
can't be
year.
done that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Long story short is we wanna take opportunity and anywhere we can find parking, whether it's a vacant property lot that we can, if it's a field, if it's not being developed on or has pushed out, and that landlord's still paying taxes, well, let's help pay his taxes then in the meantime till development starts. And then we'll have to pivot as the town grows and everything else. And that's that, like I said, for me to like try to go to Dime Hampton Coffee Shop for 33 spots, hey, if we need it and we have to, let's use it, but if we can't, then we'll have to figure it out.
Have you guys explored street parking, in terms of like identifying what street parking we have available that might not necessarily be labeled?
Not on Main
We're-
Street,
I'm
just-
waiting, not on Main Street.
Well,
Yeah, no, I'm talking about out, like, this whole thing is off of Main Street, obviously, that's where people are parking, so. No, I'm talking about street parking, not on Main Street.
As a way for us to park the cars.
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
but we didn't explore that yet, but we didn't think
No,
about
we
that.
haven't,
There's a
I'm
lot-
not against it, it's just a liability factor. I
Mhm.
do like having them in a lot that we can at least monitor. My original, plan was to use an Apple AirTag system and use municipal parking, but I would be afraid of, one day car getting damaged and trying to blame us. I'm not against the idea, just liability issues we have to explore.
That's another, I spoke to the chief about this, and that's another issue, the insurance issue. If you're using municipal lots, we would like to be named insured on
Absolutely.
those kinds of things.
Of
We-
course.
we have
Which
to
you
cover
wouldn't
it.
need if you parked on the street.
I see your point, okay.
There's a lot of, there are a lot of streets outside of Main Street that are close, that have street parking available.
In front of people's home, like.
Yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
no, some homes, some commercial areas, Main Street's just a tiny strip. We have, Mill Road has a lot of parking on it.
That's a great idea, we haven't explored yet, but we're definitely open to it,
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna encounter liability issues no matter where you park, cause someone could crash
That's
into
right,
it
and the
in a
insurance is
parking
there to
lot.
use it if,
Yeah.
something happens.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? With the, street parking that you're suggesting, Mr. Deputy Mayor, how are we able to secure those spots then? So, well, we not, get into an issue where we're driving around trying to, you know what I mean?
Cause they're
Yeah,
so
that-
far up the strip, people aren't gonna park there.
Right,
with,
especially
so-
Really,
if
that's
it's
not
in front of
really
a private
that
home,
available.
that
It'd be like
would
Mr.
be a
Jennings
definite
by the
issue.
firehouse by us, like that side road in front of
Yeah.
someone.
Might create retrieval issues too for the valets themselves.
Right.
Yeah,
If we
'cause-
if we have
There's less
cars that
control.
are, 500, 600 feet away from like, starting
Well, we
here.
could develop a strategy like, alright, we'll use this street for this day and or time, and.
We're willing to explore,
It's
Yeah.
evaluate
we could-
anything,
we're-
you
we're
know?
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
if we sat down and
Yeah.
dissected.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking because, municipal lots are full often, because people are aware of them existing, so they'll park in them themselves. And it's also probably pretty I mean, Rogers is one thing, the beach, but municipal lots is probably really difficult for us to
I don't
The
think
other
we'll
one
be
is,
able to
the
manipulate-
marina is underutilized.
section off.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, but sectioning
Especially the
off
south lot.
areas
South lot, just
designated
forget
for
about it.
them,
It's gonna get
I
filled
think
up
there'll
by
be a lot of
regular
flack
And
from
they don't wanna
people
pay
saying,
for
well,
free
I would
parking.
normally park
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, of
Or
course.
would make it the section furthest away from the.
That's what I'm saying, it's areas that people wouldn't normally park themselves.
Right.
I think should be targeted for this as opposed to municipal lots where people normally park anyway. And if we section a piece of that off, we're gonna get killed.
I completely agree, that
Yeah.
causes more problems than.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have that,
But I mean,
little grassy section on Sunset.
With my next suggestion, I'm waiting to
That's
hear
fine.
back
That's
from,
fine.
Mayor
That's pushing
Pioneer and
it.
Patchogue is,
Spots on stalls.
there are paid parking spaces directly in front of some restaurants, correct? Can I pay double the meter? for-
Here,
Here, no paid
No.
parking.
No,
no, there's no paid anywhere,
Main Street is no,
There's none, okay.
nowhere.
It's a 2-hour limit, but no paid parking.
Up
Would
until
there be any situation where we could reserve a spot or two for a pickup drop-off point?
To me, that would be counterproductive, because we're trying to increase the amount of parking we can accommodate rather than decrease it. And I was thinking there are areas, for example, in the one rear parking lot, there's an area that's cordoned off and used for a dumpster access area, but it's not used for parking at all, ever. It's not supposed to be. So that could be designated as, in the evening, as a pickup drop-off area.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That'd
Uh,
be wonderful,
yeah.
you can send a representative I could drive around with and scout one day.
Well, that's part of the municipal parking lot,
Oh,
so
okay.
it would be
Would
a
it be
work in
taking
progress.
away a viable parking spot, but it's an area where you can do your
It's
thing?
central,
Top line
and it
operation, that's great.
has,
Maybe a stupid question, but is there a train station close enough to here that?
train
Beyond?
station is
West Hampton train
West
station.
Hampton, which is.
About a mile and a half?
Mile and a half away.
Probably a little more than that.
Yes,
But
but
Main
there is
Street's
a train
probably 2
station.
miles.
I'm sorry?
There
From
is a
Main
train
Street is 2
station.
miles.
Would that be a possibility to use? I understand it's a little bit far, but I mean, for the purposes that.
When we have the funding, I'd like to have a shuttle van, which require different licensing and insurances for us, but, hey, if we gotta park a little further, and we can set up
That
on
would
the
be-
app, have a reservation at a certain time.
It would be up to the MTA though.
That's the
Yeah, that's the
MTA.
MTA, you have to get
Oh.
a
Right.
permit from the MTA.
And actually,
It's their-
Hampton
it's all their
Jitney
property.
does drop off at the train station in
So
this.
the MTA has jurisdiction over the train, not the village?
They own the
Different
parking,
opposite
they
kind
own
of-
the parking lot.
They own the parking lot,
Yeah.
right.
Okay, understood.
Yeah, the
Are they
Hampton
open
Jitney
to
has
working?
something to work
Anyone?
Good luck.
Well, maybe smile.
I know they're gonna work with them, they're gonna work with
Yeah.
us.
Well, what if,
Uh,
I'll think about it.
I don't know, it's actually Hampton Jitney has worked out. a
Well,
deal
has worked
them.
with them and gotten it from them,
So
yes.
Hampton Jitney does do pickups and things like that.
There's a chance, give it a try.
Can't hurt to ask.
The only issue that you have to know about at the train station, if you go down and scout it out, you'll see Depot Road that goes straight down. And there's an old portion of the train station over there and the platform to the right. The old train station is in the town of Southampton,
Okay.
and the platform is in the village of West Hampton Beach.
Different
The
jurisdiction.
road goes, right down the center of the road is the dividing line.
I'll wait for an email from the mayor of Southampton.
No, it'd be the town
The
supervisor.
town of South, the town supervisor,
Town supervisor, town of Southampton, not the.
not the
Oh,
villages.
It's a little close, but.
Right.
Have you guys ever explored, and this is probably barking up the wrong tree, have you ever explored school parking lots in your experience?
Absolutely, we're.
But the
like,
school lot's right here.
We would love to,
Especially in the
we've been
summer.
waiting for a meeting
That's
with
what I'm saying,
Mayor
there's
Pontieri to
schools basically
explore
closed, so
all
we
the
have all
properties
those
that
parking
are
spots.
there. I'm not, well, they are not owned by the village, but even, actually, I've not explored to find out who owns that property, yeah.
I mean,
That'd be up to
our
you guys or the
school
school?
parking lots are in a perfect distance for you guys. I just know that with schools, you have a whole other level of jurisdiction that is very difficult in terms of liability, and even though it's at night, that you'd probably be doing
Do you have
this,
events on occasion?
there might be kid it's probably not viable, but definitely worth looking into.
Would that be
They've already
something
said
you
no
guys would
to-
decide? or
What's that?
The school's already said no to other events.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
doubt,
Yeah.
I doubt it, but just.
Our school has already said no to other events that we've tried to use that for, and they've said no.
So I also off this have a bigger vision of creating a foundation as well, the Safe Home Ride Foundation, where my girlfriend works for Morgan Stanley, and she has coworkers that have traveled to South Korea, I believe, and there's a similar operation that they're running a couple years ahead of us, and they use a lot of volunteer work to be able to do stuff like that. So we won't work in the school or create a foundation or Troubled Youth. I don't know if there's something, I'm always looking to pivot or join up with a school or whatever the case is to maybe work that out on a different angle.
You could poach them and see what happens.
Coach, they get a meeting with the superintendent, and then you'll sit with the school board and you can make a presentation.
Great. Superintendent, let's do that.
Yeah.
In closing, Czech Valley aims to revolutionize the parking experience in West Hampton Beach by allowing its guests to have a seamless village experience without having to worry about parking. We offer the community a convenient, safe, and reliable service as we enhance the way people park, travel, and socialize. Any more questions?
Do you have a printout of your PowerPoint so that I could?
Could I email it to you?
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Great.
Yes.
Lastly, I was advised to ask if there are any grants available for us to maybe take advantage of. We would need someplace to run out of, whether it's a small office space or a trailer. Just expanding this fast to West Hampton wasn't on our forecast. I am confident that we could potentially raise the money, but if we want to be here by the 4th of July, was just curious if there's extra grant money that maybe we could take advantage of getting us a month ahead.
The Village of West Hampton Beach does not have any grant programs. Actually, we take advantage of the state and the town grant programs. We don't
have
give
any.
money away.
Any town,
We
state
don't
grants?
have grant, but town and state grants, I can't speak for right now, but this is an interesting concept.
So, I have just one question. What, and it's partially for Tony, partially for you, what would you need from us to operate?
We would love a place to be like a small office space for me to be able to, one, just get us organized, a potential drop off, like the way we're set up in Patchogue would be ideal, but this is a different town, so we can always, redirect. But if there was a somewhat close place, whether it's just off the strip or nearby, where we can have like, if I was able to, even if Seafield, I could ask them if they have a little space that we could use for, meaning whether it's a pop-up tent or whatever the case is, or something a little bit better. We need storage for our scooters, to charge them, our paperwork, the lot boxes travel with the lot per se, or just depending if that's gonna be that lot space.
What about the chamber office? There's
I
electric
think-
there, we own it.
Right. No, we have also a business owner that was very generous and gave us site for oversight of our project, for the Main Street project and the sewer project, and he donated that office space to us, and it's right down Main Street, and it's currently vacant. And
I don't
we
think
can
it's gonna
approach
be
that.
vacant for long.
I think he wants to renovate, but he hasn't got that underway yet. So
Yeah.
maybe for this season, that might work. Who knows?
Yeah, that would make it happen.
Yeah. We can ask the
Yeah.
mayor to reach out to him. She has a,
Yeah, I think with the
Good
sewers in now, he's going to wanna
That's
utilize
great.
that space.
You guys
Yeah.
still would like, if everything works out, 4th of July week would be ideal?
4th of July week is very busy and ideal. And that's also one of the times that the Great Lawn is used as parking. It's a special event. We have the fireworks event that the golf club
Across the
puts
street.
on. So that evening, it's very crowded.
Great. What else? The theater, I understand, does wonderful events.
They do.
Absolutely, as well. We'd
And
love to-
they do not have their own parking area. So if you could partner with the theater, that would be a terrific.
There's a board member right there. Sorry to call you out, Marcus, but would you have a recommendation to someone there to link them up with?
I spoke to our executive director about it, just to jump in on, you had mentioned maybe there's a spot on Main Street, with the redevelopment of Main Street, it's so narrow, it'd probably be counterproductive to have any backing up of vehicles or cars. Police can chime in, but I think it would be an absolute disaster.
Right, if you have to stop and drop off on Main Street, you're stopping all the
Backing up
traffic.
cars
And that's what you're
you got
suggesting,
the
that spot might
movement.
use a lot, right?
Yeah.
The
In the
drop-off?
municipal lot,
That
yeah.
resolve
You got
that
an
one?
emergency or a fire, and now you got all these cars backed up, you can't get through.
Right.
Yeah.
But maybe Glover's with the flow through.
Lovers, the back lot is ideal.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we were talking about, that one spot.
And he mentioned, in front of dumpster space in the back lot, like, at night, no one's.
And then you got the alleyway that goes through the main street, so people
Right,
can walk
and it's
over.
well
Yeah.
lit.
Yeah.
We have security cameras in the parking lots, so all those things are in place.
We should
But we can, we'll work together, I think that,
Great. We're very excited. Thank you.
Can I ask a question real quick? I apologize. As far as reaching out to restaurants to partner, because that's obviously a tremendous thing, what is the best way for me to go about that besides just knocking on doors, which I'm super comfortable with, right?
Walking
Just
on
go
foot
in.
and knocking
Great.
on
I would
door.
say
Yeah.
it's Chamber of Commerce. is a
Chamber of
good-
Commerce might have a list for you.
Chamber of Commerce is a good
Sure.
resource as well.
But we can tell them that we have the support of the trustees and everything, so.
And a lot of the restaurant owners are at their restaurants
Great.
in our town. Most of them are not open for lunch, weekdays especially.
Noticed that.
So if you do come, I
That'll
would
change
come,
in a couple weeks.
midweek evenings, cause weekends, they're gonna be crazy busy. But midweek at this point in the season, a lot of them are open for dinner and it's not too crazy.
Great,
So they're there a lot.
sounds great, thank you very much.
Oh, Mr. Tippin, I was supposed to ask, Chris Cheech from Dockers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheech.
Yeah, he wanted me to say hi.
Tell him I said hi. Haven't seen him in a while. We've done some beard growing competitions together.
Did you win?
I can't beat that
Okay,
guy.
I was gonna say.
No.
He's like Snorlax.
Yeah. Tell him I said hi.
I will.
Thanks.
Any other questions?
No, I think we're good.
We're good.
So,
Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys
Thank you
very
so
much.
much.
All right.
That is wonderful.
Thank you.
We appreciate it very much.
Just gotta get Ralph's email, you gotta email that over to him. Right?
He has it. We've been in touch.
Okay.
Yep.
I just remembered
He's
you
good.
asked, so.
Yeah, no, that's good, thank you.
We wanna make sure it wasn't a senior moment.
I just.
Marcus,
picking
you all
on
dressed
all.
up, you going out tonight
Who's
again?
picking on us?
Rob
That's his
again.
forte.
You're not gonna see me, you can see my wife.
That's what insecure people do.
So far, the
They pick
coolest
on people.
experience of this whole thing was me texting my father that I forwarded the deputy mayor voicemail.
I don't know, is there anybody?
Any other public comment? Anyone else?
Yeah, we're good. Bill, you
Okay.
wanna sing a song or something, or?
Dearly beloved, we're gathered here today.
You have to get up and dance for a little while?
All right, Bill can sing a song, but we have to adjourn first. Motion to adjourn, someone?
Second.
Second.
All right. Moved and
Aye.
seconded by
Favor.
Mr.
In
Rubio.
favor.
Mr.
Mike, I made the motion. Yeah,
Farrell.
yeah.
Okay, whichever.
Whatever.
So we'll be
All
in
right.
touch?
Yeah,
Yeah.
We'll be in touch, yes. I'll,
Thank you.
sounds great.
thank you very much.
Thank